Hi, my name's Skip Edwards. I'm with American Decorative Concrete. Today we're going to show you how to apply the solvent base, which is acetone, and we're going to show you how to apply the Ameripolish dye. What you're going to do is you're going to take a powdered dye that comes in it's a concentrated powdered dye, and you're going to add it to 1 gallon of acetone. You need to make sure that you let the powdered dye set in the acetone for at least 3 hours. There's a lot of properties in there that have to dilute and get the color consistency that you want. If you don't, when you mix batch to batch, you could have different colors. So you definitely want to mix it in. If you want to mix it in the night before or a week before, it's not a big deal. You can mix it any time. There is no shelf life on this product. So it's a powdered formula, small bottle, goes to 1 gallon. This is our 5-gallon bottle. So you can see the 2 different sizes. Also, it can be shipped overnight. Acetone has 0 VOCs, so believe it or not, it's a green product. The only difference is it does have an odor to it, so you have to deal with that odor. But if you're doing stuff like stencils and logos and stuff like that, then you want to use acetone. If you got multiple cuts or multiple colors, probably want to use the acetone product versus the water-based Sherlock. They have their advantages. Both of them are different in their ways. The Ameripolish is our oldest product and it's been out for the longest, and a lot of guys are using this right now. So we're going to show you how the solvent-based system works. We're going to go ahead and kind of take you through the steps first. We're going to go ahead and bring it up to 400 grit resin, and then we're going to put our dye down. And then we're going to go ahead and apply our Sherlock densifier. It's a concentrated densifier. Mix it 1-to-1, 1 part water, 1 part densifier. We don't sell water, water's free. And we're going to go ahead and then at our final step, after we're done with our 1500 grit polish, we're going to go ahead and apply 2 coats of Sherlock stain protector. So let's talk about the process, what we did to prepare this floor here. We started at a 70 grit metal, and then we did a 30 grit hybrid, and we did a 50 grit hybrid, we did a 100 grit hybrid, 200 grit resin, and a 400 grit resin. We want to bring it up to 400. We don't want you to bring it up any higher than a 400 grit. And you don't want to put the color dye in lower than a 400 grit. What happens is you can cut too much of the dye off because this stuff dries really fast. So I have some dye that I've already mixed up. The color we chose was blue here. We're going to use this sprayer. It's an acetone based sprayer for doing this little small square. They make bigger sprayers like this that you can use to spray the acetone on your larger jobs. But since this is just a small sample area, we're just going to go ahead and use a small one, show you how fast it dries and show you how to keep moving with this process. The acetone product dries very fast, so you're able just to go back to back to back without stopping at all and keep going. The only time you ever have to stop is when you have to apply your densifier, and that only takes about 10-15 minutes to dry. So we're going to go ahead and spray this down and show you how it goes down. You want to make sure that you mask off all your surroundings too as well, because whatever you stain with this, once it's stained, it's stained. It's not coming out. Gloves, mandatory must. Once you stain your hands too, they're stained too. It does come out of your hands, but it takes a long time. So make sure you definitely wear gloves. And you want to fog this product on, like so. And you notice I'm doing it in some motions. A real fine mist. You want to make sure you use the right sprayer on this too. This is an acetone sprayer. It's spraying out the right. Most of your garden sprayers will not spray this product out correctly. The seals will just get eaten up really quick, and it'll also, you'll just have a lot of problems with it. You'll have drips. You definitely don't want drips on your floor, because if you have drips, you'll be able to see them. So again, use a larger sprayer, makes your job a little easier. Seen in the Sherlock video, I used the larger sprayer. So if you do get drips like I just did there, spray it right away. Get on it, and then it won't leave a pattern in there. If you leave those drips like that, it's going to stay like that. So you can see that that's drying fairly fast. So what we're going to do is go ahead and pull up our paper and our tape, and we're going to let that continue to dry. Once it's 100% dry, we're going to clean up the residual residue. Now define residual residue. Residual residue is when you wear gloves like this and you take your hand and you wipe it across and you have color on your fingers like so. If you get a lot of this, you definitely have to clean it. Because again, what will happen is the residual residue will clog your diamonds. So you want to make sure you get all this off. See all the residual residue? So, and you can see how fast it dries. I just sprayed that section and I literally, I'm walking on it now. So here's residual residue. It's all over. Definitely got to make sure you get that off. I want to show you guys something that with the tape and the acetone base. The acetone base doesn't bleed. The water base will bleed. So you could see. So we're going to go ahead and clean up the residual dye as we talked about in the floor. You can see. Hi and welcome back. We just got done spraying the floor with the dye. Now we're went ahead and cleaned it with an auto scrubber, white pad, to get rid of all the residual. And as you see now, there's no more residual. That's how you check it. Just rub your fingers across it and make sure there's no more residual. So now we're going to go ahead and densify. We're going to use the concentrated form of Ameripolish Sherlock Densifier. Again, concentrated. It's a half gallon. You add it to a half gallon of water. We have 5-gallon units too as well. They come in a concentrated 2.5 gallons. You add another 2.5 gallon water, and you have 5 gallons of product. Okay. So I have some Sherlock Densifier here mixed up with the acetone-based Ameripolish dye. Just simply spray it out. You want to just spray it out. You don't want to puddle it. Some people like to microfiber it. I like to just spray it out and let it be. Some floors, if they're harder, tighter, you can get away with microfibering it. But the whole key of a densifier is to make sure that it's reacting and hardening the surface. The Sherlock Densifier is really good due to the fact of its penetration. We've had a lot of people come to us and say, wow, this stuff really works. It is a lithium base, so you don't have to scrub it, you don't have to rinse it, you don't have to wait 24 hours, you don't have to do any of that. Simply spray it down and wait about 10-15 minutes and let it dry. So we're going to go ahead and wait, and we'll come back to that and go to our 800 grit. Hi and welcome back to our final stage of our Ameripolish dye system. We just finished up to a 1500 grit pad here. Our basic steps were 400 grit and then apply the Ameripolish dye, powdered dye, to the acetone. Let that set for 3 hours, put it down. As soon as that was done, clean up the residual dye, apply the Sherlock Densifier. As soon as that was dry, we went ahead and did 800, 1500, and 3000. After 3000, we went ahead and auto scrubbed the floor, and now we're going to go ahead and put our Sherlock stain protector. This is a concentrated product to resist all your stains in your floor. If you don't have a stain protector on your floor, what will happen is if you spill that glass of wine, it's going to stain the floor, then you're just going to have your floor stain instantly. So what this does is allow you to buy time to go and clean up your stains and your spills. And This is a concentrated product. It's mixed 1 to 1. So this half gallon, you add another half gallon of water, gets you 1 gallon of product. So we're going to go ahead and apply that down. What you're going to do is go ahead and use a microfiber applicator, and you're just going to put it down really thin to win. What I like to do is get the microfiber applicator wet, and as you see, you can see the floor how shiny it is already without the stain protector. But we definitely want to have some kind of stain protector resistance on it. Go ahead and use the Patriot 600. Helps to have 2 guys to do this, but this is a small little sample. I can do it by myself. So just get your applicator wet, and then go ahead and very thin to win. So you want to rub this product in really, really well. And you also want to put in 2 coats. So what we're going to do is put down the first coat, let it dry. As soon as it's dry, we're going to put the second coat on there. Now to get the chemical resistance that we want to definitely let it set for over 24 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and finish spraying this out. Very thin to win. I'm using a red tip. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and burnish out the Sherlock stain protector. You want to use a diamond grit pad. It's a 3000 grit diamond grit pad, a 3000 grit and a 3000 only. If you use a coarser grit, you could have streaks and marks through your floor. So you want to make sure you use that. Some guys will use a hog's hair pad, and that doesn't quite work on our stuff. You want to make sure that you use a 3000 grit diamond impregnated pad. We're going to go ahead and burnish this out. This is we've waited for 24 hours, so we're going to go ahead and put our burnisher on it with a 3000 grit pad. Again, we have 2 coats on here, so we're going to show you how it's going to shine. Hi, and welcome back to the final stage of the Ameripolish dye system. As you see, we went ahead and put down the Sherlock stain protector, and we burnished it out with a 3000 grit pad, and you can see how shiny it is and see the clarity of it. Let's talk about color. When you're spraying a floor, educating your customer on color. When you're spraying your floor, you definitely want to make sure that you don't tell them that you're going to have a consistent look. Dye is translucent. If there's oil stains and there's marks underneath the floor, unless you grind those out, you're still going to see them. So make sure you educate your customer on what they're getting, and make sure they understand that those kind of things aren't going to disappear. If there's a tile pattern, an old VCT tile pattern, make sure that you tell them that the dye is not going to hide those patterns. So make that very clear. One of the things that we offer too here is we have a West Coast training facility here. We could train you on how to do this. If you need technical assistance, we can help you that on the phone. Don't hesitate to call me, or you can email me as well. If you need field assistance, we can do that as well too. So thank you very much and have a great day.